If you need that love, support, somebody to push you, to tell you can do it, I would tell them to come to Pam Transportation. It's a family here. It's not just a regular company. They will look after you. They will show you that you are important, you are welcome here.
Come see the largest pre-owned inventory in Northwest Arkansas.
Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it in McClarty Daniel Country. With 800 pre-owned vehicles at 6 giant locations in Bentonville and Springdale, there's something for everyone. Plus,
At McClarty Daniel, you're protected.
drive worry-free for 7 years or 200,000 miles with the MD Pre-Owned Advantage. And when it's time to sell your car, we're ready to buy it, even if you don't buy from us. Have you visited McClarty Daniel Country yet?
Visit us online at mcclartydaniel.com.
Experience everything Springdale has to offer. Visit explorespringdale.com or download the new Explore Springdale app. It's the best place to discover all there is to do and see in Springdale. We'll help you explore our many eateries and attractions and introduce you to our shopping, arts, parks, and trails. You'll also find links to our great hotels and meeting venues. Download the new Explore Springdale app or visit explorespringdale.com to begin your Springdale adventure.
What if we told you you could buy your next home without having to compromise? That's exactly what the Schuber-Mitchell Come Home Savings Program can do for you. Choose between a $5,000 design studio allowance, a $7,500 luxury kitchen and bath upgrade, $3,500 in closing costs, or a 0.5% rate buy down, saving you thousands over the life of your loan. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Come home to a place you love. Head to Schuber-Mitchell's website today to take advantage of this limited time offer.
Goodbye, 9 to 5. Hello, startup. So long, IOU. Hello, settled up. Bye-bye, on hold music. Hello, personal service. Finance and grow a business, easily pay friends, and quickly chat with a personal banker with digital tools from Arvest Bank. Goodbye, limits. Hello, possibilities. Goodbye, paperwork. Hello, convenience. Farewell, waiting. Hello, personal service. Catch you later, dreaming. Hello, planning. Buy your dream home, connect with a personal banker, and easily schedule an appointment with digital tools from Arvest Bank. Goodbye, limits. Hello, possibilities.
If you want fast, easy, and affordable service, visit McClarty Daniel.
Keep your vehicle running like new in our state-of-the-art service facilities. We know your time is valuable. Our factory-certified technicians with decades of experience will get you in and out and back on the road quickly. We service all makes and models at our 6 convenient locations in Bentonville and Springdale. Open 6 days a week.
Visit mcclartydaniel.com to schedule your service appointment today.
During the Great Depression, nothing came easy. But with just 5 cents, an old truck, and a load of hay, John Tyson and his family found a way to deliver quality chicken to other hardworking people. Today, Tyson continues to find new ways to help put a chicken in every pot. Because people deserve farm-raised chicken of the highest quality. At Tyson, we remain committed to this simple promise: to always keep it real, to always keep it Tyson.
It's time to buckle up with an auto loan from United Federal Credit Union. Whether you're taking the whole family on a road trip or just want to cruise around the block in style, we've got cool deals for your new wheels. For a limited time, you can choose from $100 cash back or 90 days with no payments. Just take a United Auto Loan for a spin. Visit unitedfcu.com/buckle up today. United Federal Credit Union. We get you.
I served in the
If you need that love, support, somebody to push you, to tell you can do it, I would tell them to come to PAM Transportation. It's a family here. It's not just a regular company. They will look after you. They will show you that you are important, you are welcome here.
Come see the largest pre-owned inventory in Northwest Arkansas.
Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it in McClarty Daniel Country. With 800 pre-owned vehicles at 6 giant locations in Bentonville and Springdale, there's something for everyone. Plus,
At McClarty Daniel, you're protected.
drive worry-free for 7 years or 200,000 miles with the MD Pre-Owned Advantage. And when it's time to sell your car, we're ready to buy it, even if you don't buy from us. Have you visited McClarty Daniel Country yet?
Visit us online at mcclartydaniel.com.
Experience everything Springdale has to offer. Visit ExploreSpringdale.com or download the new Explore Springdale app. It's the best place to discover all there is to do and see in Springdale. We'll help you explore our many eateries and attractions and introduce you to our shopping, arts, parks, and trails. You'll also find links to our great hotels and meeting venues. Download the new Explore Springdale app or visit ExploreSpringdale.com to begin your Springdale adventure.
What if we told you you could buy your next home without having to compromise? That's exactly what the HAR-BER Come Home Savings Program can do for you. Choose between a $5,000 design studio allowance, a $7,500 luxury kitchen and bath upgrade, $3,500 in closing costs, or a 0.5% rate buy down, saving you thousands over the life of your loan. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Come home to a place you love. Head to Schuber Mitchell's website today to take advantage of this limited time offer.
Goodbye, 9 to 5. Hello, startup. So long, IOU. Hello, settled up. Bye-bye, on hold music. Hello, personal service. Finance and grow a business, easily pay friends, and quickly chat with a personal banker with digital tools from Arvest Bank. Goodbye, limits. Hello, possibilities.
morning and welcome to the 2023 Veterans Day Assembly at Don Tyson School of Innovation. My name is Aurelian Sinnott, and I am an assistant principal here at DTSOI. Your reverence and attention are appreciated during today's ceremony. We are here today to honor our veterans and recognize their dedication to our country. There are nearly 19 million veterans living in the United States today, with over 3,500 here in Springdale. Today, we welcome you, veterans and community members, and although we will never be able to fully repay those that have served our country, we offer our sincerest gratitude for the sacrifices made by you and your families. I would also like to take a moment to recognize Ms. Sarah Kennard, for her hard work in organizing today's assembly. On behalf of the Don Tyson School of Innovation, please enjoy today's assembly dedicated to the men and women who have served or are currently serving the United States. At this time, playing the Klaxon March under the direction of Mr. Jeff Key, please welcome the Don Tyson School of Innovation Wind Symphony.
Good morning. My name is Bruce Quayle, and I'm an 11th grader and a member of the National Honor Society. The American flag has served as a symbol for freedom and justice for the past 225 years. In wars and in times of peace, the American flag has served as a notice to foes and assurance to allies that democracy lives. No other symbol captures the power and glory of our nation like the American flag. At this time, please stand as DTSOI students and Scouts of BSA Troop 107 BNG members present the American and national flags.
Good morning, Don Tyson School of Innovation. My name is Tara Valines. I'm a member of Scouts BSA Troop 107B, or G, in Springdale, Arkansas. Please rise for the presentation of the colors. We ask that you respectfully remove all non-religious headgear. Color guard, attention. Color guard, advance. Color guard, hold. Color guard, post the colors. Color guard, salute. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Color guard dismissed. Please remain standing for our national anthem.
The high school chamber choir, under the direction of Miss Cindy Key, will be performing Homeward Bound, which was written by Martin Keane and arranged by Jay Altonhouse. It has become an anthem for soldiers returning home. Miss Keane said that this piece is about finding your true calling in life and knowing that those who love you trust that you will return. Our student accompanist today is our very own Dennis Figueroa. Our soloists today are Valeria Figueroa and Dennis Figueroa. We hope you enjoy Homeward Bound.
In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrow
I'm Shelby Oliver, a social studies teacher here at DTSOI. In 1921, an American soldier, his name known but unto God, was buried in Arlington National Cemetery. This unknown World War I soldier became the personification of dignity and reverence for America's veterans. This memorial took place on November 11th, over 100 years ago, giving universal recognition to the celebrated ending of World War I, when in 1918 hostilities ended on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month and all was quiet on the Western Front. In 1954, President Eisenhower signed a bill proclaiming November 11th as Veterans Day.
Good morning. My name is Brandon Cooper, and I'm a social studies teacher here at DTSOI as well. At this time, please join me in recognizing the members of the DTSOI faculty and staff that are veterans. School Resource Officer, Corporal Cody Combs, United States Army National Guard. Teacher, Mr. John Diesel, U.S. Army. English teacher, Mrs. Channa Keese, United States Coast Guard. Industrial maintenance teacher, Mr. Wes Higginson, United States Air Force. And diesel maintenance instructor, Mr. Tyson Sontag, United States Army National Guard. Please enjoy this video created by the DTSOI AV Tech students highlighting these staff members.
I served in the United States Air Force.
I joined the Arkansas Army National Guard.
I served in the United States Air Force.
I joined the Arkansas Army National Guard.
I was in the United States Coast Guard.
A lot of my motivation was because I had a love of aircraft and electronics, and so my field initially was in avionics, where I eventually worked into controlling the maintenance for the complete field.
I always loved the water. I was a lifeguard, and so the search and rescue enticed me, and I thought I could do some good there, and it was a great adventure.
For me, I wanted to go into the National Guard because I still wanted to be home. I knew that I wanted to be a police officer as soon as possible. I think the importance of celebrating Veterans Day is just to celebrate veterans, to honor those who have served and protected this country with all that they have, all their sacrifices.
I have a very, very deep respect for the veterans of this world and our country because of the service and the sacrifices that they make. During my time, I got to experience that, so I can truly appreciate what they've done, because that's allowed the students to have the benefits that we're celebrating here at the school.
I think it's super important. I don't feel like I did anything to deserve it, but I know like the World War I people, where it originally started, all those people deserve so much honor, and just for the sacrifices that they made, and the people currently serving, just lots of people did a lot more than me, and I think they're amazing. I think it's super important to know the history of it, and I think to be inspired to go on an adventure, to learn about just the feeling of patriotism that you get for serving in the military.
Yeah, during my time in the military, virtually all that time was spent overseas. I spent several years in the Pacific, I spent several years in Europe, and I spent several years in the Middle East. And all those times made me greatly appreciate what we have here in this country, and why I dearly appreciate students that stand and rise and say the pledge to the flag of our country, because this is the greatest country in the world, and it provides us with the benefits and the great life that we have.
Good morning, my name is Daniel Paxton, and I'm a student ambassador for EC Council here at SOI. November is Native American Heritage Month, and it's very fitting that Veterans Day is in November as well. Native Americans have served in the U.S. military since the American Revolution, long before they were allowed citizenship in 1924. By percentage, Native people serve more than any other ethnic group in the armed forces. In the Choctaw language, Tushka means warrior. Our Native ancestors have endured great hardships by relying on their warrior spirit, and still, to this day, the Tushka spirit lives on. Our next speaker is a proud Choctaw and Cherokee Tushka, our own resource officer, Cody Combs, and who is a member of the National Guard. Please give him a warm welcome.
As a kid, I always wanted to serve in the Army, but at the same time, I felt I had a strong calling to become a police officer in order to help others. At the age of 17, I decided to join the Arkansas Army National Guard, and at the age of 21, I became a police officer. Serving in the Army National Guard has allowed me to stay home with family and friends, as well as allowing me to live out my passion of being a police officer with Springdale. But this did not hinder my military accomplishments. I've been serving for approximately 13 years, 5 of which I was an infantryman. 4 years I was in a reconnaissance platoon as a scout. Throughout this time, I was on 1 combat deployment to Eastern Africa. During this time, I was away from home for 12 months. Currently, and for the last 4 years, I have been a chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear specialist. I currently serve as a battalion staff NCO in the S3 shop. As a member of Choctaw Nation, I want to share how 19 Choctaw soldiers have helped shape the outcome of World War I. It has been more than 90 years since the Choctaws of World War I volunteered their service to the United States and joined the Army. Some of the Choctaw men were overheard speaking their native language in the midst of battlefield in France, and an officer immediately had a brainstorm. Training the Choctaws to use their words as code, they were placed strategically on front lines and at command posts so that their messages could be translated without being understood by the enemy. These men were the first to use their own language as a code to transmit military messages. Many Choctaw men volunteered to World War I to fight for our country. Choctaw code talkers of World War I were instrumental in ending the war. Members of Choctaw and other tribal nations also served with distinction using native languages in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. For our next speaker, it is my pleasure to introduce a family member of Springdale Police Department who was also compelled to continue to serve and protect after her military service. Sergeant Mallory Kaleda graduated from Springdale High School in 2008 as part of the Law and Public Safety Academy. After high school, she joined the Army in 2009 and went to basic training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. After basic training, Sergeant Kaleda attended advanced individual training at Fort Eisenhower, formerly known as Fort Gordon, in Georgia, to become a 25 Quebec multi-channel transmission systems operator maintainer. She was then stationed in Fort Gordon and deployed as part of Operation Enduring Freedom in April 2010 to Afghanistan, where she stayed for 1 year. Additionally, Sergeant Kaleda was also deployed as part of a humanitarian joint task force in 2013 to El Salvador, where she served for 101 days. While in El Salvador, Sergeant Kaleda helped establish communications to work sites where members of the National Guard were building schools and bathrooms in remote parts of the country. In 2013, she was promoted to sergeant, then exited the Army in 2014 when she joined the Springdale Police Department. Please welcome Sergeant Kaleda.
Hi, thank you for having me. Thank you, Officer Combs, for the entrance, and thank you to my fellow veterans here with me. My name is Sergeant Mallory Kaleda. I served in the U.S. Army for 4 years. While I was in the Army, I went to Afghanistan, and I actually helped establish one of the eastern outposts for communications so that everyone else coming in after us would have internet, satellite, radio, and everything. It was actually kind of fun. My favorite part of the military, though, was my 100 days that I spent in El Salvador. We got to work really closely with the community. It was really nice to do something that they couldn't do for themselves. The schools are still standing today. They have actually expanded. They've gone back since then. We've had 7 work sites. All of those work sites got bathrooms, all those work sites got schools, and these are parts of the country that didn't have schools. They were parts of the country that didn't have running water. So it was really nice to be able to help the community in that way. I have always felt drawn to help my community, and it started from a young age. My grandfather was in the Army, and he got hurt in Korea, and it was rough on him for the rest of his life, but everyone really supported him. And from a young age, I decided I wanted to join the Army as well. While I was in, I met my husband, who also was called to serve by his grandparents. Both of his grandfathers served. One was a Marine and one was in the Air Force. Both of his brothers also served, and both of his sister-in-laws also served. So my husband comes from a long line of veterans. We're very proud to call ourselves veterans, and we are very thankful for the veterans that came before us, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. About 1% of the nation will be veterans, and a fraction of that 1% will be women veterans. I am very proud to say that I know a lot of women veterans and that they have accomplished many things. In 2012, I was tasked with a mission, and we were told it was impossible. We had to establish communications within the US on a piece of equipment that hadn't been used in about 25 years. And this equipment was actually going to be taken to Qatar and to Kuwait to give extra communications there. We were told it was impossible, but me and my team decided we were going to make it possible. We spent 12 weeks in the field every day, in and out, no water. It was very fun, but we did it, and when we did it, they said, no, that's not possible. But we decided we made it possible. So after everything was all said and done, and we got the communication site all set up and going, we had generals come out, we had warrant officers come out, and they're like, well, that's not possible. And we're like, well, sir, it's working. So whenever someone tells me something's impossible, I make it my mission to make it possible. I am very proud to have accomplished that mission, and that mission has set the stage for many missions after mine. Thank you for letting me come here. I am very proud to be a veteran. I am very proud of the veterans before me, and I hope that one day all the veterans after me are happy for their service and they are proud of their service, and thank you.
Thank you, Sergeant Kaa, not only for your service in the Army, but also for your service as a police officer in our community. I'm Chelsea Perry, an assistant principal here at DTSOI. Students at Don Tyson School of Innovation have a tradition of supporting our military branches and choosing to serve in those branches for our country. Today is my pleasure to welcome Arkansas Army National Guard Sergeant First Class Recruiter Selena Von Cox and United States Army and Army Reserve Recruiter Sergeant Connor Swangerfields. Please join me as we recognize the current students who have committed to the military. Committing to the United States Army National Guard are Colby Kreifeld, Giovanni Roa, Yesenia Marquez Gonzalez, committing to the United States Air Force is Tree Tran, students, we are so proud of you and greatly appreciate your decision to serve your country. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. My name is Brandy Clifford and I teach 8th grade English here at DTSOI. Recently, several middle school students gathered together to educate themselves on why we celebrate Veterans Day and how to show appreciation for the veterans who have continued or do serve our country. Together, we wrote a letter to all of the veterans that are here today. It is a collaboration of several different thoughts from a variety of students. This letter will be read by one of my 8th grade students, Hudson Smith.
To our veterans, we would like to start by saying thank you for your service. We want to continue to remember your sacrifice and dedication to our country. Let us not forget those who have fought for our freedom so that we may continue to live our day-to-day lives feeling safe and protected. We agree that we cannot imagine the amount of bravery it takes to be a soldier. It is important for our generation to continue to recognize the veterans in our community so that we may never forget the hardships our soldiers face daily. Though we may not understand the experiences of our veterans, we can still appreciate what it is they have done and continue to do for the United States. We don't want to see a future of a non-existent military, so please know that we appreciate each of you. On this special day, we say thank you for your service. We are able to live in the land of the free because of the brave. Thank you, soldiers. We recognize your sacrifice and dedication from the students of DTSOI.
Today you will hear an original poem written by one of my 8th grade students titled Freedom's Soldiers. This poem was written with passion and thoughtfulness and really speaks truth. Please listen to the words carefully as Piper Pianalto reads her work aloud.
From past to present, soldiers strong and true battle for our future. Riding through glades to fight for our freedom, through skies and seas they battle the wrongdoer. To a simple viewer, many battles may seem far behind us, or an exhibit in a museum, or even just a worn-out rumor. And they may be right, some battles being long behind us and many a buried rescuer. For example, take the bloody Battle of Antietam. But many fights happen to this day, and there are skirmishes that are even newer. All these fights are to ward off the pursuer, for it is our land and lifeline they strive for, as the acre of many soaks into the soil, and towers high over all is the multitude of mausoleums. And through all this we carry out plans and maneuvers. Soldiers as such, who risk themselves for the country, no one's heart could ever be truer. Songs and ballads, poems too, are written about their feats, though we alone only see some. While this happens, they spend their days watching as the sun rises anew or the moon shines true, waking to a sky that is ever bluer. Life must go on, and through these uncertain waters we must trudge through with questions only slightly growing fewer. But thanks to our soldiers, our fighters and guides with hearts of gold, to the light we all come, with the country to fight for and a goal to renew her, hand in hand forward we march as one to secure something for all that can be bright and true, and that is our future.
Good morning. I'm Madeline Saisanasi, a representative of Phoenix Odyssey and proud junior here at DTSOI. I have the honor of introducing our special guest and keynote speaker. Congressman Steve Womack has proudly represented the 3rd District of Arkansas since his election in 2010. He is currently a senior member of the powerful House Appropriations Committee, where he is the chairman of the Financial Services and General Government Subcommittee, and also sits on the Defense and Transportation and Housing and Urban Development subcommittees. He formerly served as the chairman of the House Budget Committee. Congressman Womack retired from the Arkansas Army National Guard in 2009 at the rank of colonel with more than 30 years of service. His deployment to Sinai, Egypt in 2002 marked the first time a National Guard unit performed the mission of the multinational force and observers. Congressman Womack's task force received accolades from the highest levels of military and civilian leaders. Congressman Womack is a graduate of Arkansas Tech University, where he was inducted into the ATU Hall of Distinction in 2014. He is a member of the Arkansas National Guard's OCS Hall of Fame. His military awards include the Legion of Merit, the Arkansas Distinguished Service Medal, and in 2015, Congressman Womack was presented the Harry S. Truman Award, the highest award given by the National Guard Bureau. He serves as the chairman of the West Point Board of Visitors, where he supports the U.S. Military Academy, the nation's preeminent leadership development institution, in its mission to train the next generation of Army officers. He was first appointed to the BOV in 2012 and subsequently elected BOV chairman in 2017. Womack is currently the only congressional representative from Arkansas to serve on the board. He and his wife Terry have been married for 39 years and currently live in Rogers. They have 3 sons and 3 grandsons. Please join me in welcoming our next special guest, Congressman Steve Womack.
Thank you, Madeline, for that very kind introduction. Sounds like I wrote it. Maybe I did. I don't know. What a great honor it is to be here today. First thing I want to ask is, are the people committed to the military? Colby, Giovanni, Yensenia, Tree, are they still in the hall? Or did they're still here? Come on back up here. I want to do something before I give you my prepared remarks. I want to present each one of these young people with my challenge coin. This is a military tradition. Commanders create a coin designed to reward soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marine Guardian for exceptional performance. And these young people may already, because I see a couple are in uniform now, may already have a challenge coin presented to them, but they're gonna, and if they don't, then I hope they will take this one and start their collection. And over the course of their careers, they will be rewarded many times, I'm sure. So I want to do this. I have the privilege of speaking to audiences, large and small, mixed, very diverse audiences, young people, the old alike. And the reason I did what I just did was because I have a strong belief that the future of this country, indeed throughout time, the history of this country, has depended on the nameless and the faceless, the youth of our country, to make a commitment on a volunteer basis to serve their country in uniform, to do something extraordinarily profound, to make a commitment in life to give it all up for something greater than themselves, to preserve this idea of freedom. We will celebrate as a nation people who can hit home runs at 450 feet, or dunk a basketball, throw long touchdown passes, do things incredibly difficult physically, but achieve greatness on the field of sports. And we will call them heroes. They are great competitors, but they're not heroes. Those are the true heroes of our country. Never forget that. Let me begin my prepared remarks by first of all saying something about what I just witnessed on this stage and what I've seen in this program so far. This is a first-class program. And to listen to the sounds coming from the symphonic orchestra over here, Jeff's program, I told the kids before we started that if you closed your eyes and you had a professional symphonic orchestra here with decades of experience, and you listened to them, and then you listened to the School of Innovation Symphonic Orchestra, you wouldn't know the difference. A remarkable talent. And his wife over here guiding these precious young voices, that when the words of the national anthem were being sung, it gave me goosebumps. Perfect harmony, singing with a purpose, honoring the greatest country in the history of the world. We have the unique fortune as a people to have awakened this morning in this great country, to be able to enjoy the blessings of liberty. And you don't have to look very far, whether it's social media or the news on TV, to understand that there are complicated places on this planet where people are not able to enjoy the blessings of liberty quite like we are. And there's a reason for that. And the reason is the very reason we celebrate this day, Veterans Day. Kind of often confused with another holiday that we celebrate that happens in the latter part of May, where we honor those who gave the supreme sacrifice, Memorial Day. My favorite, by the way, of the holidays, because giving the last full measure of devotion is the greatest sacrifice that one can make for their country. But on this day, we celebrate those who make a commitment to their country to wear its uniform and to make the solemn oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, not a select few, not those that we might just have a disagreement with, but all enemies, foreign and domestic. That we will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That we will take the obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. And that we will well, underline well, and faithfully discharge the duties of those respective positions. So help me God. That's why we celebrate Veterans Day. I'm reminded of the words of the philosopher, the 19th century philosopher, John Stuart Mill, maybe 20th century, a long time ago, who said that war is an ugly thing. But he goes on to say, but it's not the ugliest of things. The degraded state of moral or patriotic feeling that believes that nothing in the world constitutes a reason to fight a war is much worse. So think about his words and then relate it, if you will, to what happened on October the 7th in Israel, when 1,400 innocent Israelis were killed in a brutal attack by a rogue organization operating out of the Gaza Strip. Been there many times. To think that some kids, lots of kids, were enjoying a music festival at the time this happened, innocently taking of their young lives, babies beheaded, horrific acts of violence committed against a peaceful group, just trying to live out their lives, just as we live out our lives here in Northwest Arkansas. Yeah, war is an ugly thing. But thankfully, the men and women who are seated in front of me here this morning, and I've seen uniforms and hats and more uniforms of people who obviously have indeed taken that sacred oath and have served their time in uniform. That but for their sacrifice, we live free. That is the true genius of America, and it will always be the true genius of America. Now I want to bring it closer to home. I have the honor and privilege every year of talking to young men and women about their futures. And in these discussions, we talk about our service academies, which I happened, as you heard in my introduction, I happen to have the honor and privilege of being the chairman of the board at the United States Military Academy at West Point. Now, I think in my 7th year as chairman. It is my hobby. It's what I like to do when I'm not doing my congressional duty. I like to be associated with young men and women who have the maturity and the character and the integrity to make themselves available for leadership in the greatest military in the world. And it's a passion of mine for this reason. And we just saw them on stage. These young people who are going to enlist into the armed forces of the United States deserve to be led by the best and brightest America has to offer, and some of them come from Springdale. Noah Wilson from Springdale High School at the U.S. Naval Academy, class of 26. Cruz Reyes of Springdale HAR-BER, class of 2027. And one at West Point, Luke Rucker, HAR-BER High School. He will be in the class of 2025 at West Point. And there are kids sitting in this audience this morning who in just a few short years might engage me in conversation about those opportunities. Springdale does play a role in the defense of our country. Now, my radar goes up when I see young men or young women who I believe represent the values and the character and the credentials to do something as competitive as go to a service academy. And I don't want to shame him into this, but when I sat over there a minute ago and watched a young man stand here named Bruce Quayle, the first thought to me was that young man looks like, not just because of his haircut, looks like the kind of person that I'd like to talk to about going to a service academy. He's with the National Honor Society, so that automatically tells me that he's checked a very important block in the qualifications, that being academic performance. But Bruce, the way he carried himself up here, reminds me of the Noah Wilsons. He reminds me of the Cruz Reyeses, and he reminds me of the Luke Ruckers that I've had the occasion and the privilege of being able to nominate and see appointed to these academies. So Bruce, if you're listening, let's have that conversation. I know my audience. I know the high school program is a little bit later, and I won't be able to be at that one, but I do want to speak to this group of young people. So you kiddos, kind of lean forward here a minute, because I want to make this relate to you. It's one of my all-time favorite stories about personal sacrifice and a commitment to the country. The guy's name was Jack Lucas. Jack was born in 1928. So remember that date, young people. He was born in 1928. His dad was a tobacco farmer. And Jack's dad died when he was 10. His mama was concerned about Jack, So she sent him, he was from Carolina, North Carolina, sent him to a military school in North Carolina. Now Jack was kind of big for his age, and he's a burly sort of young man. So he's at this military school, and you guys that study history know what was going on about the time that he became a teenager. We were engaged in World War II, and Jack wanted to go. So in 1942, Jack Lucas forged his mother's name and enlisted in the Marines. All right, now, this is not a challenging math question for the School of Innovation. You do the math. Born in 1928, enlisting thanks to his ability to sign his mother's name to papers in 1942. Yes, Jack Lucas enlisted in the Marines in 1942 at the age of 14. So let that marinate with you. Jack did not make a history of lying, although he lied a lot to achieve his goals. He wanted to serve. So he impressed people to the extent that he convinced them that he was actually older than he was. And at one point, stowed away. He literally got on a ship as a stowaway in order to make it into the fight in the Pacific. He was discovered at sea and eventually was punished. They took a stripe from him. But it was a little too late to send him home. We're on our way to war. So Jack achieved his dream, got into the war, made it to Iwo Jima. Now I want you kids to think about this for just a minute. Misrepresented his age, lied to enlist, committed to going, went, discovered, admitted, and then into the fight. And oh, by the way, he promised his mother, once discovered, that I promise, Mom, just don't raise a stink. Let me achieve my dream. And I promise you, when I'm done, I'm coming back home and I'll go back to school. That was his promise. And then one day, shortly after arriving in Iwo Jima, he and his unit became engaged in a firefight in a trench. And out of the blue came 2 grenades that landed in the trench next to him and his unit. He covered one immediately with his body. The other one was nearby. He was able to grab it in an instant and pull it under his body when it exploded. He survived multiple surgeries, horrific wounds, but he saved his fellow soldiers, his fellow Marines. He saved their life. By the way, the other grenade didn't explode, which probably spared his life. Now, not too long after that, in a presidential ceremony, Jack Lucas became the youngest recipient of our nation's highest award for valor, the Medal of Honor. And at 17, he fulfilled his promise to his mother when he returned to school in the 9th grade with the Medal of Honor hanging around his neck. That is why Tom Brokaw, in his book, America's Greatest Generation, called those soldiers and sailors and airmen and Marines America's greatest generation. And he said these words: they won the war and they saved the world. So why do we do what we do today? We do it because our country owes a debt of gratitude for anybody that is willing to make this commitment. So I leave you with this today. My favorite verse of America the Beautiful, it's not the first or the second, though the first one is the one we all sing most often, but it's that third verse, the third verse, that says, "Oh, beautiful, for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life." On this Veterans Day, it is a great honor and privilege to serve you. It is a great honor and privilege to be among young people, America's next greatest generation. And I am eternally grateful for our courageous veterans, for their willingness to pursue a life of service. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you.
The Armed Forces Medley, sometimes known as the Armed Forces Salute, is the collection of the official songs of the 5 military uniformed services of the United States, performed in order of precedence. Veterans, we invite you to stand as the flag for your branch of the military is presented. United States Army.
Shout, pounds are marching all about, and those peace songs are rolling along. For it's high, high need in the field artillery. Count out the numbers on the song. 2, 3, 4, 5.
States Air Force.
As we conclude our ceremony today, I would like once again to thank and extend our deepest gratitude to our honored guests, the veterans. Thank you for your service and thank you for your sacrifices. We also greatly appreciate Sergeant Mallory Kaleda and Congressman Steve Womack for speaking to us today as our honored guests. Students, we will now allow our guests to exit the auditorium first, so please remain seated and await further instructions. Guests, as you exit these doors and return to the lobby, there is a reception with some refreshments there for you. Thank you again for joining us today.